Blessings, God's people. I just wanted to get on here today and talk about a topic that has really been on my heart and my mind for a while. You guys know I don't usually get on here and talk much, but this topic is something that needs to be spoken about a little more often, and that is to my sisters. How are you healing and how are you using your power? We know that the dynamic, especially the dynamic in the Black relationships and households, is not really easy. And we're the only people that question our roles in interacting with one another. You know, I hear so many men hollering they're alpha males and women saying they're alpha females. But how are you really using that power? And a lot of women don't know that they are more than just, pussy. They're more than just sex and yoni and things like that. And, looking at social media, that's all you see. A lot of women are constantly doing the work on their bodies. They're getting the surgery, they're getting the wigs done, they're enhancing how they look, but they're rotten on the inside. And I'm sure you guys have heard me say that again. And a lot of them are just really empty and lost. And I do know that a lot of trauma has been caused, like I said, because of the relationship dynamic with our people. And there just hasn't been enough healing done. A lot of people jump from person to person and, they're just transferring these energies and these doubts and these preconceived things to one another. And they're really just using one another. But to my sisters, how are you healing? How are you uplifting your mate in your relationship? How are you raising your children? How are you self-caring for yourself, outside of being everything to everybody? And I think that is so important, that women have to have that special time to really take care of themselves and self-check and understand what's really going on, understand how they feel or how something or somebody makes them feel in that instant. And me personally, I have been single for a while now, but I've always been in relationships, my whole life. But it took me going into solitude to really check myself and to really feel my way around with people. It's just crazy out here, and I'm slowly starting to deal with people again, but it's a task. I tell you, it's really a task. And women, we really have to get back to the basics. We are the key to how our homes are ran. We are key to how our children feel able to feel safe or able to express themselves, as well as our men in the home. And due to our emotional nature, we're able to take in a lot more, and we feel a lot more because we are able to take in things and incubate. But again, we are more than just a face, a body, sex. You must work on yourself, sisters. And I personally have been a warrior all my life. Again, that trauma in the DNA is real. And I grew up with two parents in the household, and that was a good thing, but sometimes it's not a good thing, especially when, it's not quite right. My father, I always tell people, my father raised me kind of like a boy. He always raised me, don't you ask nobody for nothing, work hard. You don't have to ask no man for shit. And then as I grew, I look at it and I'm like, well, damn, why was I raised like this when, my mom and other women were able to quit their jobs and stay home, or you did this or you did that. But one guy told me it was because he didn't want me depending on other guys, because he thought maybe other guys wasn't like him. But I'm not sure. It really didn't matter to me. But women, we have got to get back to being warriors. We have got to get back to being the nurturers and the healers and really getting ourselves together. I've been invited to a lot of these groups out here, a lot of these sister gatherings, and I kind of shun away from going to them a lot of times, because if I'm just going to go and we belly dancing and we talking about yoni and things like that, I don't want to go. I don't even want to be invited to that kind of stuff. And I'm not knocking it, But if we're not sitting down trying to figure out how we can get some after school care for these kids, how we can help one another heal, how we can stop building these trauma bonds with each other, because that's exactly what they are. A lot of sisters only become friends because of trauma. Like, yeah, he did that to you, sis, shit, you know, me too. And the gains are not shared. The pain is shared, but when the gains are not shared, that's when the envy and the jealousy comes in. And I've experienced that a lot on my path. And I kind of just stay to myself most of the time because I know my own triggers as well. And I just don't like being around messiness. But sisters, we have to understand that we are warriors spiritually. And not all of us will be warriors physically. You know, I've always been a warrior, a tactical, a confrontational kind of woman. But the older I get, I kind of sit back and I kind of look at things a little different. You know, I get busy if I have to, but I know my power as a woman. And a lot of times people don't realize that women get into places that men can't by being feminine, by using that power they have. And sometimes that seduction, but a lot of times just that beauty. But you have to have that warrior inside of you already trained and built to be able to do what needs to be done. You know, for instance, Gaddafi, he had women bodyguards. He had women bodyguards, beautiful women bodyguards. And a lot of people venerate and they give credit to a lot of the women warriors that are already dead and gone. You know, your Harriet Tubmans and people like that, your Rosa Parks. But the women warriors like myself who are still alive today and still have that fire in them, but feel like we don't have the protection that we need or the guidance that we need, it's a sad thing. You know, they put movies up, but men, a lot of men, I'm not saying all, a lot of them run from and don't really know how to deal with a woman that's, you know, a warrior. And, you know, they feel like we confrontational or other things, you know, they may think about you, and that's not true. I'm a woman. I'm not confrontational at all. You know, I just really like peace. You know, I like love. I'm all about love and affection and give and take and just having that rhythm and everything. But that's all you see. You know, you scroll on your phone, on social media, you see sisters are doing anything. They got the whole ass out. You know, they just waist trainers, wigs, all of those things that are temporary. And they really don't keep no man. You know, you going around having all these things done to yourself, and he's still gonna leave you. He gonna cheat you with somebody totally different that's not even doing those types of things. So again, sisters, the work has to be done on yourself. And I'm gonna try my best to get better at, you know, working with sisters and talking about these types of things and possibly having meetings, because we really need that. We need those warriors back. We need those spiritual warriors. We need tactical warriors. We need all of that in the community to be able to heal. And, you know, our men have to do work too. And I can point my finger and say what needs to be done from my personal experience, but I won't, you know. We just all need to come together to an agreement and learn how to, you know, just respect one another. And just learn how to heal and move on from the past. But ladies, we need you. We need our warriors to get themselves in order. You know, we need to get that divine feminine thing down pat, you know, and just love on each other, guys. But I didn't have too much to say today, you know, and I'll be back and talk with this a little more in depth. But I thank you all and I love you guys. Have a good day.